Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Sorry guys, I have some pretty sad news if you guys are fans of this specific series. So it seems like Mario and Sonic games could be done forever. And I think a lot of us were thinking that as no new Mario and Sonic game got announced for the 2024 Olympics and everybody was trying to figure out why that was the case and why Nintendo hasn't announced this yet, or Sega. And we was really expecting it like the last 4 Directs. We might know why now. Because according to Eurogamer, and this comes from Stealth on Twitter, the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games series was cancelled in favor of NFTs and esports. They wanted to look at other partners in NFTs and esports. Basically, the IOC, which is the Internal Olympics Committee, wanted to bring it back to themselves internally and look at other partners so they would get more money. And this apparently comes straight from Lee Crocker, who worked on almost every entry in the series. So yeah, this is just strange. And I guess it has never really occurred to me that the Internal Olympics Committee is behind a lot of this, considering the fact that it is like all based around the actual Olympics and the years and the places that they are at. So I guess they do have the max say-so with this game. And that is pretty interesting. So it does not seem to be neither Nintendo or Sega. It was the Olympics organization that pretty much just said, hey, this is not making us enough money. We like to find other avenues for our Olympic games. Yeah, that kind of sucks. So esports I kind of get because it just recently passed vote to actually be in the Olympics now. Video games can be part of the Olympics, I guess, starting the next Olympics, which is pretty interesting. I don't know if that's considered summer or winter event, but you know, either way, that is pretty cool. Maybe it's both, I don't know. But yeah, it seems like that is where they are going to put most of their focus on, which I get it. You know, it is where a lot of people are going to be watching, and that is probably where you are going to get a lot of your revenue from. Yeah, very strange. But at the end of the day, I kind of get it to a degree when you look at the sales. The very first Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games really just threw everybody off guard. It was on the Wii back in 2007, and no one really expected to see something like this in their lifetime. Like Mario, Bowser's, Sonic and Amy racing. But it was insane, and obviously it sold insane with 13 million copies sold. Obviously the most selling Mario and Sonic game by a large margin. But then just a couple years later, we would have the Winter Olympic Games, which sold just about 7 million, which was still really, really good for like technically a sequel on the same console. We then have the third game on the Wii being Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games, and that sold about 3.7 million. As you can tell, it's starting to decline because this is the third Mario and Sonic Olympic Games on that same console. But then the Wii U rolls around with the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games, and that was only 1.2 million. Of course being on the Wii U, but even being on the Wii U, I see this still as a success because the Wii U was just bad with its sales. So honestly, this wasn't terrible. Then on the 3 Decisekens a couple years later, we had the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, which would be the worst selling game in the series with only 1.175 million copies of, which is pretty low. Once again, it is a 3 Decisekens game, so I understand it. But then they had one last release on the Nintendo Switch, and that was Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, which only sold 1.3 million, which was a little bit more than the 3DS and a little bit more than the Wii U. But for a Switch title, this did not do that well. And this is probably what the committee was seeing and saying, yeah, these games are no longer making profit for us, really. I mean, only getting about 1 million units sold each installment is not going to be enough. Now, I can't lie myself. I bought the first 2 games and played the heck out of them on the Wii, and that's where I stopped. I never did get the third one on the Wii, I never did get the Wii U or the 3 Decisekens title, and I never even got to Switch 1. I just personally ran out of fuel for this series, and it just felt like every single time it was the same events, it was the same type of thing, and I just wasn't all that invested in it. And it seems like a lot of people probably felt this way as well, and it was just ultimately time for this to be wrapped up. And I'm not gonna lie. Even when there were rumors suggesting that another Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games was coming very soon, the last couple of years, I was kind of crossing my fingers and hoping that this series would not return in a way because I was ready for them to actually do something new. And I feel like this is more of a possibility than ever. With the IOC saying no more Olympic Games, that does not mean they cannot make any more projects together. Nintendo and Sega are on great terms. They work together all the time with different things and releases. And when new Sonic games come out, Nintendo helps pretty much as they can to reveal the game and show the game off and advertise the game for Sega. So, odds are, we will probably see some other project in the future with Mario and Sonic. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Olympic Games. It could just be a sports mix game. Something along those lines could work. But what I've been really wanting for a very long time now is a proper adventure game. Like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games was cool, but I want to see them go on a proper adventure, like a whole story, a full game. And how would that look? I don't really know, maybe it's a mixture of 3D platforming with Mario and fast level completion with Sonic. I don't know, I feel like they could do it in some way, and I would love to see something like this. But the question is, will Nintendo ever put time into something that big? I mean, if they have dedicated teams working on 2D Mario, 3D Mario, then who in the world would be working on this game? Would it replace an upcoming 3D Mario? Because I really wouldn't want that to happen. I would love to see some type of adventure game. I know if they do another game, it's going to be something like Spy Sports again, or probably something along the lines of like an RPG or something like they did with Mario Rabbids. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm expecting with their relationship with Ubisoft and obviously making 2 Mario Rabbids games. Now, I cannot believe that Nintendo and Sega hasn't worked together for some type of story-driven game. So whether it is an RPG or an adventure game, I would love something else that is maybe not sport-related between the 2 franchises, but we are just gonna have to wait and see what they want to do. So maybe we'll never see Mario and Sonic together again outside of like Smash Bros. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. Are you happy that this is over? Or are you sad that this is over? Definitely let me know, and thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one. Until next time, happy gaming.